Didn't see you there. I mean, I did, but I didn't. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So I just gotta pull up the chat here. But hi guys, welcome back. It's Captain Foley time. It's like story time, only better. And there's a Kazon on the bridge. Yeah, no shit. Okay, so pull this up. Hold on here. So welcome back, guys. Yes, today we're here to talk about, of course, looking for a box to. Yes, indeed. We're going to talk about episode 3 of Lower Decks season 2, which is "We'll Always Have Tom Paris." Not a great episode, just to start off with, but for something positive to start off with, this little "I am not a doll, do not play with me," and ba-ding, hey Sean as a puppet. My mother-in-law, Sylvia's mom, she made this, and so I have a Kayshawn. Woo! Oh, and that perked the pug up. The pug is like, "Can I eat this thing?" Wah, wah. So anyway, I know it's the wrong episode. That was the last episode, but anyway, here we have them. But yeah, getting to this episode. This episode was not great, in my opinion. This was not a good Lower Decks episode. It wasn't a bad Lower Decks episode, but it wasn't one of the better ones, put it that way. I will say, seeing Mariner and Tendi as both Orion women, oh my God. Yes, 1,000 times yes. That kind of made the episode for me. Seeing Tom Paris back was all right, but I think he was totally underused. But yeah, just kind of a episode for me. Just it was all right. Tom Paris was very underused, I think, but I thought it was hilarious with there's a Kazon on the bridge. Oh, look, a Kazon. I thought that was hilarious, so yeah. Anyhow, Fleet Paw said he just got done watching it and enjoyed it. Well, the Tendi bits were the best. Unfortunately, we never got to see Tendi's bits. But honestly, seeing her and Mariner as Orions was just like, oh, wow, that's... I know they're cartoons, but damn. The boiler stuff was all right. I didn't like that the computer didn't recognize them. The best part of the episode for me, honestly, was the Shax stuff. And seeing Mariner and Tendi as the Ryans. But the Shack stuff was awesome. How'd he come back? We don't know. Don't ask them. They won't tell us. You know, it's bridge crew. They come back all the time. It's hilarious because it's true. So yeah, the Shack stuff was my favorite part of this episode. Not a lot of real good references in this one, which is fine. Because they kind of blew their wad in the last episode with references, so it was kind of fine for them to this one have be a little bit toned down. And like I said, Tom Paris was all right. It did not sound like Robert Duncan McNeil at all. I did not hear Tom Paris in that voice, but that's okay, I guess. He's still lieutenant too. It's only a few years later, like 4 years or something. But I don't know. It was just kind of a meh episode. The whole Cetacean, not fertility, libido outpost thing was funny. But I mean, honestly, with me, if they had come off, I just say, oh, it must have been broken in the box. I don't know. The box has been in storage forever. Maybe it fell or something in storage. I don't know. I didn't break it. That's what I would have said. I wouldn't have gone through all this trouble that they did. But I mean, we got to see Dom Job. We got to see the Nausicaans. We got to see part of the Orions. People in the Federation have this misunderstanding that all Orions are either thieves or pirates. Oh, that reminds me. I have a cousin who works at a a thievery place on a pirate outpost. It's like, oh, good God. Pumpkin Spice, at least Shax is back. The Kayshawn joke wore thin quickly. Kayshawn's still there. Kayshawn's on the bridge, so he's still probably the security officer. I know Shax is back. We didn't ever see him on the bridge, but the bridge scenes did have Kayshawn. I'm so annoyed with this cough. God damn it. But other than that, it was just kind of a meh episode. Nothing really to report. There wasn't anything really even fun or revealing in this episode, honestly. Richie, you think so? I don't know. You'd be surprised. This is probably one that that Samuel might think is amazingly awesome. I don't know. It's kind of weird. He's like, how do you get to be in space? From the planet you were on, probably got in the shuttle and was hiding out until it decided to come out. I mean, that's a stupid question, honestly. Not from you, Ozzy, but from Ransom. Yeah, I think the Shax bit and the Orion, seeing Mariner as an Orion, were the best parts of this episode. I wish the Orion thing would have lasted a little bit longer. Would have been nice. But the Shax stuff was, I think, spot on. He's just back. No explanation for any of the lower decks people. Makes sense, but doesn't make sense. But you know, the flashbacks, and you do know about the Black Mountain, don't you? And if you look at the subtitles, he says there you have to fight 3 faceless versions of your father, and they make you eat your heart, and it goes out, trails off into something, and it's kind of disturbing. So I thought that was interesting and kind of fun. I do love Shax. I love the fact that he's back, but the Tom Paris stuff really underwhelmed me. Like I said, it did not sound like Tom Paris to me. I don't know. Let me know let me know in the chat right now, guys, if you heard Tom Paris, if you heard Robert Patrick McNeil, or if it just sounded like a generic animated voice, because I did not get the indication that was actually him. It was him that was doing the voice, but it did not sound like him. So I don't know. I'm just crazy, probably. Yeah, we find out Mariner served on DS9. And then the 5 ships that she's already talked about. They confirmed she didn't do pheromones. Well, she says, I'm not that kind of Orion, but I just think that's because she doesn't want to use them that way. She still probably has them, obviously, but yeah. And the whole, the Mistress of the Winter, whatever it was, I forget, was hilarious. I don't know. I want to know more Tendy's backstory now. And I want to hear exactly what happened with Shax. I love the different possibilities there. The small people use me in the middle of a Dyson sphere to try out my power. The Mirror Universe, the Borg, even that whole montage had some overlays. It's in the subtitles. I didn't really read them, but at the one point it said, what about Paul and the blah blah blah, and it kind of trailed off. There's just a lot there that was fun. I mean, the Shaq stuff was the best stuff, and because I'm a horn dog, honestly, the Ryan stuff was all right too. But there's just not anything in this episode. This episode really was underwhelming to me. And I don't know if it's just because we've had such great episodes of Lower Decks, and the last one was so full of references and cool canon stuff, that I was expecting that. I don't know. This one just, and yeah, I'm not sure Samuel's gonna like it, but at the same time, he could totally surprise me and be like, "This was great. I really love that." Like sometimes he really surprises me. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think he's probably going to be a little bit dismissive of this one, which I don't have a problem with because honestly, I agree with him. But yeah. Mark Lawrence, $5. A K's on. I thought that was hilarious. I did enjoy that. No, the starbase was named after Amelia Earhart. So Jason says no. Didn't sound like Tom Paris. Matt Boardman, interesting. I heard Tom Paris in his voice. Some lines he did, not all of them, says Lisa Jericho. The Noodle Channel, yeah, strangely, seeing Mariner as an Orion was like a Princess Leia in metal bikini moment. My mind went, damn, first, then, oh, yeah, it's a cartoon. Yeah, same here. The outfits they were wearing were amazing, and Tendi and her both looked amazing. Mariner's really grown on me. I think Mariner's sexy. And if you actually compare the way that the two are drawn, Tendi has a bigger chest. I'm just putting that out there. Not that it matters. I'm just saying she does. So interesting, I guess. No, just ignore me. It's fine. Fleet Paw says, yes, I heard Robert Duncan McNeil. Sounded like an older version of him. Sounded like Paris to me. Sounded like Tom Paris to me. Sounded like him, but I've been listening to his podcast. Sounded like Paris to me. Spot on. Okay, well, I didn't get that. I did not hear Tom Paris. I just heard generic cartoon voice. So. Jason, oh, I love the Tendi and Mariner bits. Was much needed since the first season. I would love to have seen Tendi and Mariner's bits. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? I'm going to get canceled. Oh, kind of low energy tonight, guys. SWTX Chaser, $2. Bring on the Klingon acid metal. I thought that was stupid, too. Yeah, just was not impressed by that at all. I see Scout Guy said he really enjoyed the episode. The Noodle Channel, who do you think would play Mariner in live action? Her voice actress. Her voice actress looks exactly like her. I don't remember her name. Tawny Newsome, I think, maybe. But yeah, all of the live action counterparts for their voices look like the characters, so they could do a live action show right now. Like Jack Quaid looks like Boimler. Just dye his hair purple. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure, knowing this show, there's at least going to be a scene or so that might be in live action. That would be hilarious. I would really like to see that, but who knows? BJ Turon, $2. Mistress of the Winter Constellation. That's it. Yes, I want to learn more about that. Guys, we have 74 people here with 41 likes. That's awesome. Hit that like button, though. 9 more likes to get to 50 would be awesome. I would like to get to 75 if possible. So if you hit that like button and help out the channel that way, please consider doing so. If you want a super chat, that's also a great way to help out the channel. We've had a bit of a snag on Samuel's and his computer's gone down, so I don't know what we'll be editing tomorrow or what he'll be able to edit tomorrow. As far as a video goes, we'll likely be doing a live tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, probably streamed by me if he doesn't have his computer back. So we'll cover the episode in full then. But then Saturday's episode will likely just be our edited review of the episode because he can't upload any of the stuff that he was going to. So we haven't missed a Saturday upload in 6 years. So going on 7 years almost now. So we're not going to start now. But yeah, it might not be ship related, unfortunately. So that's the caveat there. So, and honestly, there's not a lot in this episode to really break down and talk about or discuss. So who knows? We'll see how it goes next week with lives as well. We do want to do a Drunkyards live soon. We haven't done one in a while, and we kind of miss doing them. There might be a mystery box giveaway, but anyway, yes. So, guys, hit that like button. 81 of you here, 58 likes. Let's get up to 75 likes, guys. Jason says you're glossing over 2 characters getting important character development. I'm not really glossing it over, just haven't talked about it yet. More than 2 characters got character development in this. Absolutely. I think everybody did. Definitely Rutherford, who's now traumatized. Shax, of course, is back. It's a huge for his character. Tendi and Mariner, we basically didn't learn much we didn't already know about them. Tendi a little bit with the whole Mistress of the Winter Constellation thing, but we knew her name was Devana Tendi already. So I mean, it was, and we knew Mariner was on 5 ships. It's kind of a big part of her, backstory. So I think there's less character development there than you would imagine that there was out of this episode, but I could be wrong. It's been known to happen. But Rutherford did for sure. Well, the whole main bridge crew, Ransom and what the hell is the captain's name? Beckett. None of them really had anything in this episode. Tom Paris, like I said, was just totally underused and kind of a waste in my opinion. But we did get the use of the word voy, making fun of all the abbreviations of the Trek shows. I think that's funny. It saves time. No, it doesn't. It kind of does, yeah. That was funny as well. But so Boimler, of course, he's kind of having that extra sense of crisis. I can't even speak. Bleh. Where I got kicked off the Titan. The Cerritos doesn't recognize me. Where do I belong? He kind of went through a little moment there. So I think they all got some kind of, a little bit of character development at least. But yeah, I don't think we got as much character development of Mariner and Tendi as you think we did when you really go back and look at it. They were just learning about themselves and kind of reiterating stuff that we already knew from season 1, which if they have a new audience for season 2, might be why they did that, so that the new audience knows what the hell's going on. Would be my guess. But there's not as much there as you think there is. At least I don't think so. I could be wrong. That's been known to happen once or twice. So Pumpkin Spice, what are the 5 ships? The Cerritos, the Keto, and I don't know what the other ones are. We've speculated that because her dad's an admiral and her mom's a captain, she likely grew up on starships. So does she count those as when she's served on, or is only during her military, or not military, but Starfleet career serving on them? Like, who knows? I don't know. One of them was an Olympic class. We do know that. Mark says he noticed that Tendi has a bigger chest. Let's see. The chat is going downhill fast. As a punk rock fan myself, I like that Tendi was into punk rock metal. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the music personally, so I didn't think that was interesting at all. So, Fleetpaw, well, to be fair, hardly anything Klingon impresses you. I mean, that's not necessarily true, but I can see why you'd say that. Hezra says, I am confused. I don't know why. What is the new clip button under the video today? That's been there on YouTube for a long time. You can clip different sections of live videos to use in your own video to refer to something or whatever. It's just to clip out a little section of the video instead of downloading the entire video. That's been there forever. At least I've noticed it on other channels when I watch live. So James says, "Love the Blue Angels shirt. Saw them in action a couple of weeks back. Total badass." Yeah, and mine actually says Captain Foley. So thank you. The Trek reviewer. I thought this title was already used in TNG. No, we'll always have Paris was used in TNG, but not we'll always have Tom Paris. That was just a clever play on his name. But it was kind of used with this one, just added the word Tom in there. And she worked with Worf on and Odo on Deep Space. She didn't say she worked with them. She broke Worf's mek'leth and fixed it, and she knew who Odo was. She didn't say she worked with them. She didn't say how long she was served there. She didn't say what capacity she served there. I doubt very much she worked closely with the bridge or the command staff. So, at least Tom Paris got to kick ass, even if it was Boimler's ass he was kicking. 24th century plates are very sturdy. They are, actually, yeah. It is amusing they have Tom Paris going around giving pep talks. Yeah, pep talks and, void experiences. The fact that the ship didn't recognize Boimler, maybe that Boimler is the fake Boimler. I thought the same thing. They did make a big point of saying that they've upped the security protocols, though, and that's why the ship didn't recognize him, even though he was put back in the database. But yeah, I thought the exact same thing as well. Could be a thing. Who knows? I kind of got lost on the whole reason Tom Paris was even there. It wasn't really, it kind of glazed over that he was just doing like a promotional run, telling Voyager stories and kind of doing a morale boost for ships. Samuel Custer puts in $5. Thank you so much, Samuel. I have not watched it yet, but I wanted to stop by and give my support before I go watch it. Thanks. Well, thank you, Samuel. Hopefully you enjoy it and you come back and watch this after the fact, because I would really appreciate that. 80 people here, 63 likes. Guys, hit that like button. Let's get to 75 likes. That's going to be easy to do. I think you guys can do it. So please consider helping out the channel. Pumpkin spice. Yeah, why was Tom Paris on the Cerritos? He was just doing like I said, he was just doing a motivational thing, going from ship to ship, giving voice stories and, just a morale boost thing. Computer ramming speed. That was funny. Boop. Just little shield. Boop. Damage? None. That's hilarious. I love that. Is DS9 considered serving on a vessel? LOL, they warped it to the wormhole. They didn't warp it. They slowly put it. They didn't warp it, I don't think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. Anyway, but no, I wouldn't consider that serving on a vessel. So she served on 5 vessels and 1 station at least, I guess. It does seem weird to have Robert Duncan O'Neill as a guest star and then give him only like 5 lines. Yeah. Erevic says, hope you and the Admiral are doing well. We are, thank you very much. Matthew says, but I'm concerned about the gas in here because you're talking to a plate is a great line. It is a great line. I know that Binder has all the plates of Voyager crew, well, main bridge crew, and yeah, and they're all signed. I would have liked to have seen them all, actually. That would have been kind of cool. Erevic says, I enjoyed it. It felt like old school Trek. See, I didn't like this episode. I didn't enjoy it. It was all right. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like Picard bad, but it was just not a great episode of Lower Decks for me. But I mean, not a great episode of Lower Decks is still pretty good, because Lower Decks is pretty good. So I don't know. Tom Paris was part of the Starfleet equivalent of the USO shows. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Did anyone else notice that Quark's casino on the first planet they went to? Yes. Who the hell did the two dislikes? What the fuck? I can tell you who they both are probably, but I don't want to say their names because they don't need any goddamn attention. Let's see. RJB 1714 puts in $5. So thank you so much. In the Nexus, it's always Christmas. Welcome back, Shrek. Yeah, that's one of the lines, the dialogue. It's kind of at the end, it trails us in, but yeah, in the Nexus, it's always Christmas. There's some other stuff there too, like I said earlier. There's one that says, "And what was the thing with T'Pol?" And then it trailed off, and I didn't read the caption in time, so I'll have to go back and check that out later. DS9 did move at FTL speed in one episode. Yep. Okay. Yeah, to get to the wormhole entrance. I thought they moved very slowly, but I think it's still warp 1 or something. But okay. Thank you. Richie says, "I wish the episodes of the show would vary in length rather than sticking to the same or nearly the same time every week." Well, it's an animated show. It is shown on basically network TV here in Canada because it's on CTV Sci-Fi. So they do have to put commercials and stuff in still, unless you watch it on Crave, which is our other service that's available where you don't have commercials. So Picard and Lower Decks, or not Lower Decks, Picard and Discovery, both when the episodes are a little bit longer, Sci-Fi still runs them, or Sci-Fi, CTV Sci-Fi still runs them, but they run over the time. They run to like 10:15 or something. Then they put on another show, and then they play catch up during the night to fill in the space. But Mark says they use thrusters to move the station to the wormhole. They were the thrusters used to stabilize the station in orbit. That's what I thought. I didn't think they did warp, but I could be wrong. So I don't know. Feed Me Seymour had a theory that Picard created the Borg. Hear me out. It's a bit out there, but it involves the bootstrap paradox, and we have been watching the origin of the Borg without realizing it. It'd be interesting, more interesting than some of the other Borg origin stories. I don't really care to know how the Borg started. Everybody's like, well, I want to know the Borg started. I don't care. It just wouldn't interest me. But 2 more likes would interest me. 2 more likes to get to 75 likes would be awesome. If you can, hit that like button. Please do. How is Paris still a lieutenant? And is Kim still an ensign? Yeah, well, it's only like 4 years later, but yeah, it surprised me too that he was a lieutenant. I wish he would have been a lieutenant commander. That would have been kind of awesome, but did they say what rank Paris was? Yes, they did, and he also had the pips. Because it's only been 3 years since Voyager's returned to the Alpha Quadrant. I thought it was 4 years, but whatever. And 3 years, that's a long time to not be promoted. Especially considering he got promoted, demoted, then promoted again during Voyager, so. Paris was a lieutenant junior grade when they returned. He probably got promoted to full lieutenant. Was he? I didn't think he was a lieutenant junior grade. I mean, Fleet Pilot's usually doing his research, so I'll have to look into that. The Noodle Channel, I could easily watch a Lower Decks animated movie. Well, they kind of did one at the end of season 1, so with Vindicta. That was very movie-like, but yeah, I could too, for sure. Borg origin story, I think, could be fascinating. Like the Kalon from the Orville. I'm sure it'll interest some people, a lot of people, most people. I honestly don't care. Nothing will live up to your expectations of it, in my opinion. So I don't want to know it. I'd rather not know. Ezraz, imagine that Zat Vash when they encountered the Borg. Holy F, these are synths. Oh wait, it's just cyborgs. Yeah. Trek reviewer at FleetPod, I would think that when Voyager returned, everybody on board would have gotten a promotion. I kind of agree. They were through a lot. Not, I wouldn't say everybody on board, but at least the bridge crew. We know Janeway did, of course. She became an admiral. So, yeah, you would think that they would all get a bump up in rank, or at least better assignments that would give them the opportunity to rank up pretty quick after that. So, assuming they want another assignment, I don't know what you'd want to do after you got back to the Alpha Quadrant. The only good thing from Picard was the malevolent extragalactic AI antagonists. They could be a good origin for the Borg to control organics. This Jericho. In the novels, Paris was promoted to become Voyager's first officer. Hezraz, Tom Paris could still have the stigma of going to prison. I doubt that very much. He's shown his dedication to Starfleet now multiple times. His daddy is better about the whole situation. I think he would definitely get a, what you might call it, when you get your criminal record expunged, pardon. I think he would have got a pardon. Defiant says, Captain Foley, I've always wanted to know where to get the screensaver you were playing in the background. You and everybody else, because I get to ask that every live. It's not a screensaver. Well, some of them are screensavers, but they were screen captured, turned into videos, put into a playlist on YouTube, and now I just play the playlist. I would be asking too if I was watching, because I really love LCARS. I'm an LCARS junkie, and if I saw a YouTuber playing that, I would be asking the same thing. So I don't blame you for asking, but it is just a playlist on our channel. There's different eras that we have. This is the all LCARS. This is all eras, all aliens, everything in there. So O'Brien created a subspace field around the station, which negated its inertial mass, slowing those 6 thrusters. So he created a subspace field, but they didn't go to warp, though. They used the thrusters, is what I thought happened. So Paris was a full lieutenant. He was one before he got arrested. The Noodle Channel. Before I forget, don't forget that Star Trek Day is coming on September 8th. Trust me, we won't forget. And you know what? I think we're going to be remarkably busy that day. I think we're going to get trailers for Strange New Worlds. We're going to get a bunch of information about that probably. We're also going to get more news on Picard Season 2 and probably Discovery Season 4, because just saw Doug Jones post on Twitter that they've wrapped filming for Season 4 of Discovery now. So they were saying goodbye to Toronto because they're going back home. So, and there's supposed to be some panels that day, September 8th. So I think Trekyards is going to be busy that day. So. And FleetPass says it's a Defiant. It's a playlist he made over the years. They're on his personal channel, which segues into Captain Foley's personal channel. And you're wrong, Fleetpaw. It's actually there. All the playlists are on the Trekyards channel, not my personal channel. But do we know if any of the Maquis crewmen that served on Voyager actually stayed in Starfleet? I'm sure a lot of them did actually. I'm sure just as many also though left as soon as they got home. But Voyager was his sentence. New Zealand was paradise. Yeah, pretty much. LCAR's greatest hits. All LCARs all the time. Yes, Matt. The Star Trek Day trailer was cool the other day. It was. It definitely sent chills down your spine. It was really good. It was really well done. Picard created the Borg theory. Picard is android. Soon tech. Q changes timeline, removes Borg. New future, not good. Picard time travels, but has to create the Borg to save the future, with Picard being the first Borg. I don't like that at all. That's just awful. And shame on you for even suggesting it. Just kidding. I just, it's interesting. It would make a good story. And I could see them doing it, actually. I could see them, that being their writing mindset, but yeah. 26th Century Universe Class Enterprise J, one of the three using the advanced quantum drive from Voyager to move Trek ahead. We could also explain why the Borg, while the Borg Queen was interested in Data, as Borg origin is from Soon Tech. Yeah, it's actually a good theory. Fleet Plus Swift back $2. It's been known for me to be wrong before. LOL. No, it hasn't. You wouldn't be working here if that was the case. You're always pretty much spot on. Rhode Island. Due to an error by the costume department on Voyager, Tuvok and Paris were miscostumed as lieutenant commander and a full lieutenant. It wasn't until the end of the season 1 where they corrected the mistake. Dun dun dun. Lots of opportunity to start fresh with Trek, like in 1987. I know it wasn't really prison, but I can imagine that in the future people look down on everyone with a bit of a criminal past on Earth. But it's the future, though. It's Gene Roddenberry's future. You don't look down on people for their past mistakes. People can change. They can learn from their mistakes. That's a modern day thing that people would do, is look down on people. So I totally disagree with you there. I don't think that once you've served your time, you've served your time. It's not going to prevent you from getting a promotion. They can't hold that over you like, oh, well, if you have a mark on your record from something you did, like disobeyed a direct order or something, which he did do, to be fair, in the episode with the underwater, or the big water planet, that can hold back a promotion, but not, oh, well, you were in jail once or in prison, and even though you served your time, we're not going to give you that promotion that you probably deserve just because. I don't think that's really a thing. What if Q makes Picard human again? I fucking hope he does. I hope he does. I absolutely do hope he does. Feed Me Seymour. As I said, it's just a theory. Then again, it's Alice Kurtzman, so probably happen, and that's how the Picard series goes. The Noodle Channel, they just announced the 2 villain voice actors for Prodigy are John Noble from Fringe and Jimmy Simpson from Westworld. Great choices. I have no idea who any of those people are. Matthew Coate. What was the Voyager probe from the motion picture? I love the idea that there's from an early Borg civilization. What about the Voyager probe from the motion picture? I agree. I like that idea that Voyager 6 that was found by an early Borg civilization. They fixed it up and they sent it on its way home. But that was before the Borg actually started becoming the Borg that we know. So I do like that. I think that's an interesting idea. And I kind of lean towards that one personally, but yeah. I think Hugh might reboot the Picard series. That'd be awesome. They had corn kernels in season 1. It's funny, I was watching The Wounded last night, and O'Brien's got the 2 pips, the 2 lieutenant's pips, even though he's not in Starfleet, he's an enlisted guy. So should have the different rank thing. Anyway, I'm looking at it in the turbo lift going, there's no way that's corn. That's definitely gold. That's not yellow. It's not an animated show. There's no way the corn could be mistaken for a pip, because that's just the way my mind was thinking last night. I know. Richie says, I'm excited for Prodigy. I just don't like how the aliens were ripped out of the Star Wars lexicon, especially the robot. Well, the robot's a Medusan, so it's not a robot. It's a Medusan wearing like a suit. Um, so I don't quite know what you mean about that, but yeah, there's no robot in Prodigy. True, Trekyards, but then you get those judgy jerks. I don't look down on people. Just how those two original crew members on Voyager were dicks to him, most people would be cool with it. I mean, when it's still pretty fresh and he got out early because he was needed for a mission, I could see people holding a little bit of resentment. But if you've served your time and if you've shown your dedication to Starfleet over 7 years of being in the fucking Delta Quadrant, and then when you get home, you don't immediately just dump Starfleet and fuck off, you actually stick around, I think you've earned enough respect that nobody would be. There might be one or two people that might be dicks and look down on you, but I don't think Starfleet as a whole or the Admiralty would deny you a promotion based on that. I don't for a second think that. Wasn't the whole reason for being on Voyager to get Tom's conviction commuted? Yes, that was the deal. And then it turned out to be a lot more than just that, obviously, because he had to stick around for 7 years. But yeah, I think it made him grow as a person. That's character development at its finest right there. So, Fleet Pop puts in $2. Just want Q to erase all of season 1 of Picard. Yeah, sure. Um, 82 people watching with 84 likes, guys. That is amazing. I want to get to 100 likes, though. I think we can get 16 more likes. You think that's possible? If you're looking at the screen right now watching, you're going, I don't think I hit that like button. Check for me. Hit that like button. Let's try to get that up to 100 likes. That would be amazing. More super chats, of course, would be welcomed if you're able to. But yeah, sorry, I'm kind of low energy tonight. There's just nothing to talk about in this goddamn episode. It's just not. It's not very good. Sorry, Shax was like the best part of it. Olivia, I just want the box. I thought that was hilarious, actually. Feed me Seymour. Something I'd like to know. Star Trek Online. How does a lieutenant and a commander captain a Federation starship before they are the rank of captain? They explain that at the very beginning of the game, that Starfleet is pressed for ships. So they're giving ships to people that have earned it, whether they're captains or not. They do explain that. There's a line of dialogue at the beginning of the game that goes through that, and I think it's kind of silly and stupid, but it's Star Trek Online. They got to get you in the captain's seat some way. So it's much like Kelvin verse, like, hey Kirk, I know you just graduated from the academy and all, but hey, you want to be a captain? Sweet, because that's how that works. Not Kirk becoming the youngest captain in Starfleet by hard work and dedication and moving up through the ranks. No, it's because he was just in the right place at the right time and was a bit of an asshole. And I guess the Enterprise. Bullshit. But anyway. Q erases all season 1 and then rewrites it. LOL. Restart. The upcoming season of Discovery is basically a reboot. A reboot? The Noodle Channel. I feel like the Borg have had their time on Star Trek. They are used too much. Species 8472 would be a great threat to explore further. 1000% agree with you, Noodle Channel. The Noodle Channel. 1000% agree. Yes. Matthew Coates says, "Feed me in JJ Universe. Kirk saves the day one time and goes from recruit to captain." Ugh, I hated that so much. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. This is Jericho. It was very vague what Paris did to get arrested. It's not, though. They go into it a little bit, but remember Nick Locarno from the episode with Wesley where they do the starburst pattern, and Nick Locarno, the exact same actor, exact same character. Well, Tom Paris did the exact same thing. There was an accident while he was piloting a ship, and he tried to cover it up so he wouldn't get blamed. And it got exposed. It was the exact same fucking story. It was the exact same character. But anyway, so yeah, it's the same thing. Feed me, Seymour. You're looking extra blonde tonight, Foley. Have you been coloring yourself hair? No, I have not been coloring my hair. Actually, I've always been blonde my entire life. I'm a dirty blonde. But lately, my hair's been looking a lot grayer in certain lighting. And I'm kind of like, shit, I'm really going gray. I think that's probably what you're seeing. The gray effect? I don't know, but thank you, I guess. After Michael Burnham, no one is going to be hard on Tom Paris. Yeah, he didn't mutiny. Pumpkin Spice wasn't the motion picture a remake of TOS the Changeling? Yes, essentially. Star Trek, the motion picture, where Nomad had gone before. Or Star Trek, the motionless picture. Hezraz, Delta Quadrant celebrities, it would be like being someone who went to space for the first time today. Yeah, pretty much. You survived the Delta Quadrant? Ooh, tell me the stories. Bet you Tom Paris would get all the ladies, except he's got Balana and a daughter. So, 10 more likes, guys. 10 of you haven't hit that like button, and I know it, so please hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. That'd be awesome. Livy Julius puts in $2. Girls trip. Just a little peek, little girls trip peek. Yeah. John Ansell, Lower Decks hasn't released on Amazon Prime in the UK yet, so I'm trying to avoid spoilers. Stupid of me coming in here, I know. Well, we haven't really talked too much about it, so we did earlier on, so, you know. But yeah, it is kind of dumb. Don't come in here. This is Jericho, but they ruined Species 8472 with the shape-shifting nonsense. A little bit, yeah. They kind of made up for it in Star Trek Online, because now they're not Species 8472, they're called the Undine. That's their species name. But Ezra has a cool idea. If different forces from the Alpha Beta quadrants get stranded in a different quadrant of the galaxy, then due to being from the same place, have to join forces to become one. Romulan's Federation become one ship. That would have made a much more interesting series, I think. I also think they should have kept the Maquis ship around and have both ships flying in tandem for a while, at least for a season or two, until the Maquis ship got so badly damaged they couldn't use it anymore. Then they had to force that crew together with the Federation crew. Like, yeah, they were working together, but they were still separate Maquis and Federation ships. So they were still at odds with each other a little bit, but working together as a small little, pair of ships. But then having the Maquis ship get destroyed, and them having to go to the Voyager and actually work with Starfleet, I think would have been better to have incorporated that more in like season 2 or 3, and have that tension for the first couple seasons of Voyager, of Voy. Pretty sure smaller ships could have a commander and maybe even a lieutenant commander as its CO. Probably. Hezraz, they just didn't want to pay for the same character, LOL. Pretty much. Peter Lukaku, Captain. Well, actually, I just watched a thing on that, Hezraz. That's one of the issues. The other one is that they thought Nick Locarno, that character was too irredeemable with the way he handled the situation to become Paris and become a nice guy that you're going to like. So they wanted to create a new character, but the same character, but not as bad as Nick Locarno, which I don't buy for a second, but... Cap, I know it wasn't the best episode, but it was comforting to watch. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't hate it. Like I said, it's a good enough episode. It's better than a lot of Picard episodes, so it's just, for Lower Decks, it was just kind of a... Listen, Jericho, that seems familiar. Didn't he get arrested for helping the Maquis, though? He was just discharged from Starfleet from that. I don't recall if he was in the Maquis or not. I don't think he was, actually. John Ansell, there's a good theory that they're the same character, but because he was the son of the Admiral, he changed his name to Locarno to avoid nepotism. Yeah, it's interesting, but they don't buy it. Hezraz, dirty blonde hair hides the gray. Trust me, I would know. Yes. Area 51, didn't Paris join the Maquis after his initial crime and he was caught, or am I remembering? You could be absolutely right. I think that might be the case. I just do not recall. Alyssa Jericho, Uhura's mind wasn't wiped in the movie, though. No, not like in The Changeling. Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. At least you still have your hair. You can't color bald. Well, you can. You just get a can of spray paint and just say you buzzed it really close. I don't know. Defiant 15E, here's a question. Why did they stop doing teasers for next week's episodes of Lord X? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because of channels like us that were like, ooh. But I think that generates more conversation and you'd want that. So I don't know why they did it. Feed Me Seymour, Kelvin Universe, Kirk, you're not meant to be here anyway. Want to help me look heroic and get a war wound that makes me get a promotion? I'll let you push in front of Spock's place for who gets my chair. That's the pug, by the way. Pumpkin Spice, yeah, Voyager morphed into First Contact, the series. Too much Borg, already 24 years ago. Richie Appel, you can get that spray on your hair if you're bald. You can't color bald, but you can baldly go where no hair has gone before. To get people to watch The Ready Room and Wesley. Shut up, Wesley. Yeah, that's probably why they don't do but that's still stupid. Pumpkin Spice, Nick Locarno, the character rights could not be attained or something. Yep. Matt Boardman, $5. Elcar's skeleton hands. I swear to God, I'll Elcar's you with my skeleton hands. That would be cool. You would have a mini fleet. Yeah, and I think that would have been helpful in the Delta Quadrant, facing the Kazon on multiple occasions. And even have Neelix's ship there. So have like 3 small ships. Have Neelix be mainly on Voyager, but also kind of his own, like you're not really sure whether we can trust him or not. Like that would have made the show much more interesting. BJ Charon, Voyager suffered from not being more serial in storytelling as well as the sets and costumes. Yes. Hezraz, you would have a Romulan Federation ship that became friends and go past stereotypes, then awkwardness when they get back. Yeah. Much like that true story of during World War I or World War II. On Christmas Day where the German soldiers and the Americans just came out of the trenches and like celebrated Christmas together. They exchanged gifts, they played soccer, and the next day they went back and started killing each other again. SC Scout Guy, be even cooler to have Voyager and the Maquis ship both severely damaged that they had to combine them to make the Jaeger class. I think that was one of the initial ideas. That's why the Jaeger class kind of came about. But that would have been interesting. I don't think I would have liked that, though. Area 51, having the Maquis ship stick around might have given Chakotay something to do. Captain Foley, do you feel the Trek universe is getting too large too quickly? It's funny, I was just thinking about franchise fatigue the other day. Yes, I think Alex Kurtzman is... Well, we all know he's an idiot, and I absolutely despise the man. He's a cancer on anything he touches. So, yeah, we're going to see franchise fatigue, and I think it's going to get run into the ground pretty quick. In a few years, it's just going to be too much. It's too much too soon, because Alex Kurtzman doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and he's an idiot. Locarno didn't do anything that bad. We were all young once and want to make a mark, stupid or not. I made a lot of stupid mistakes growing up. As I recall, he did join the Maquis but got captured on his first mission. Oh, that's right. You're absolutely right. Yes, that is right. Ezraz, I listened to Robert Duncan McNeil and Garrett Wing's podcast, and Robert mentioned how much he thought Paris was a dick at the start, a little slime ball. He convinced them to make him less slimy. Richie says they're trying to be like streaming shows that don't show off next time on previews. There are still teasers on Instagram, but they have They seem to cover multiple episodes. The Noodle Channel. I think whenever they finish Lower Decks, the final scene will be either Boimler or Mariner in a holodeck, and the whole series will be a holo program. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that would be a fantastic way to end the series. Scott Phillips, yes. Paris was the Maquis briefly and was captured on his first mission. Janeway wanted him for both his piloting skills and his knowledge of the Maquis hideouts. I don't think that the wax... I don't think it was the starburst that was irredeemable, more so the convincing his teammates to cover it up. Yes, absolutely. Just the character's actions and the way that he was willing to lie to not get in trouble made the character totally irredeemable, and he couldn't be turned into a nice guy. I disagree. Everybody makes mistakes, and then we'll do anything to get the fuck out of that mistake. So I totally disagree with the thing, but Tom graduated from the academy after 4 stormy years with a major in astrophysics, according to Memory Alpha. Matthew says, John, completely agree, but in that situation, being young and dumb, lots of people would make the same mistake. Point is not irredeemable. Totally agree. I totally agree. Imagine if they just decided to make it a short trek to retcon Enterprise finale, just de-age everyone. LOL, titled, This Is What Really Happened. It's like the movie Clue. That's what could have happened, but this is what really happened. Feed Me Seymour. The Prometheus can split into 3 separate ships. I only remember it from the episode with the Doctor from Voyager. Has the 3-ship separation been seen in Trek episode in any of the series? It's only been seen in the episode Message in a Bottle on Voyager, but yes, the Prometheus was 3 separate ships. Hazraz, I learned in one of my university history classes that the majority of the shots that were taken in World War I were purposely not aimed at each other from both sides. Totally think that's a legit thing, yes. Ryan says, gotta say, hell no, the Jaeger design should come up with a better design and name it the Jaeger class. Loud Meme says, thank you for your answer, Cap. No problem. John says, is anyone looking forward to Orville Season 3, Disney Plus release around December or January? I am very much looking forward to Orville Season 3. Yes, they were fighting an aristocrats' war, absolutely. Pumpkin Spice says, the annoying thing about Voyager was Neelix being a bad cook. I would have just went with the holodeck and had a steak or something good, rather than a terrible Lola root slop of the day. Yeah, they didn't really push that agenda too much, but the fact was they needed to... you always hear the replicator rations or the holodeck time, like, reserve your holodeck time. So, like, energy was supposed to be at a premium, so that's why they had to cook. They would stop and get food and supplement the replicator rations with food. It was kind of talked about in season 1, and then it just faded into nothing. You still heard replicator rations throughout the course of the series, but it was never a big thing. So... I feel Abrams' lens flashed his way out of the Trek door. Kurtzman simply carrying the water for CBS Studios to grow the Trek franchise, but Michelle Paradise and Mike McMahon seem to get the franchise. I'm not so sure about Michelle Paradise. Mike McMahon is definitely on board, though. And yeah, if Kurtzman is just a figurehead at this point, just like, somebody that can take the fall if it all goes wrong, I'm fine with that, as long as he's not making fucking decisions, because the guy's an idiot. Orville is going to Disney Plus. Last I heard, it was on Hulu. Yeah, I heard Hulu too, but I also heard from watching Egotastic Fun Time is that it will... Well, I think season 1 and 2 of Orville are on Disney because Disney owns Fox. But I think they're making a deal that season 3 of Orville will also be on Disney because of that. So, who knows? Fucking dog. Neelix really didn't understand boundaries when it came to Tuvok. I can imagine all the humans on the ship were just waiting for him to burst. Also, Voyager didn't go to its original mission because of being stuck in Delta Quadrant. What Federation ship took over Voyager's original mission? Being stuck in Delta. Or it mean dry dock? I don't know. Would have been another ship. The Noodle Channel says the Hulu and Star are being integrated into Disney Plus. Star, which is the whole Fox back catalog, and anything over M15 Plus, is already integrated in Australia. Hulu is being done in January. John Ansel, there's a Black Mirror episode that really explains how the subconscious level soldiers don't want to kill each other. It's brilliant. McMahon gets Trek. Yes, he does. Disney technically owns Hulu now, so there you go. Did you ever check out the Elkins type starship that showed up in the DS9 in Star Trek DS9 episode A Time to Stand? The Elkins type. I don't think so. Doesn't ring a bell. The Prometheus and Dauntless were both in Enterprise episode of Zodi Prime along with Enterprise J. Yes, they were, but first of all, the Dauntless was a one-off ship that never got made by Starfleet. And the Prometheus would have been very old design at that point. So the Battle of Azadi Prime, the ships in the background were just there as a... Nobody's going to notice them. A lot of the producers on Enterprise, and I know this from speaking to John Eves and other people that worked on the production, like Rob Bonchoon even, would say, use that ship model that we have already in the inventory because it's fine. Nobody will notice. And that's exactly what happened there. What the producers don't know is that we're Star Trek fans, and of course we're going to fucking notice. And Rob Bonchoon and Michael Okuda and, you know, everybody involved, like John Eves, they all knew that, yeah, the fans are going to fucking notice. But the producers are like, we don't care. We don't want to spend the money to pay somebody to make a new model of a ship. Just use that ship. It'll be a second on screen. Nobody will notice. Nobody will freeze frame it. Nobody will look at it. Nobody will notice, was their thinking. Fleet Pass says, I see Kuntzman being treated like Roddenberry during TNG Season 3. He was in charge in name only, but Berman and Braga made the day-to-day decisions. John says, I'm glad to have Egotastic Fun Time. A shout out, JP does good work. JP's fantastic. I love Egotastic Fun Time. I've talked to him a few times. He's even agreed to come on our channel to do an interview at some point. We just haven't had the time to arrange that. But yeah, he's a good guy. Seems like Disney owns everything. Pretty much. If Voyager had a little fleet, then it would be very much like Battlestar Galactica. Well, that was the original plan. But because they needed those beauty passes to save money week to week, they couldn't have the ship be damaged. So the ship couldn't take the weekly damage. Disney will own the world in 50 years. All hail the immortal mouse. Could Black Mirror break out the USS Callister as a series? I would hope so. I thought the USS Callister was a great episode. But it's very much along the lines of Galaxy Class and Orville, so, you know, just incorporate it into those shows. We need Galaxy Quest. There are way more things to make fun of in Star Trek since the movie meta humor. This Jericho, Star Trek Online retconned the Battle of Procyon 5 as a time travel battle, hence why there were ships from different eras. Still doesn't explain the fucking Dauntless, though. I hate the Dauntless design, first of all, but that was because of that Artemis guy or whatever that faked it. It wasn't even a Federation fucking starship. There's no way that the Voyager took a scan of that ship, and when they got back, the Federation looked at it and goes, that's a pretty good design there. We're going to make one just like that. No, I don't fucking think so. 100 likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Lower Decks being a holo program would also explain Shaxx being back. Trek viewer, the Elkins type starship was made of an Intrepid class hull and 2 TOS Constitution hulls, secondary hulls under it, with 2 TMP nacelles. We just lost Voyager. Quick, what ship do we have that can do its mission? Well, the NX-01 is just sitting around. Pumpkin Spice says, I know, just being nitpicky about Zoddy Prime. I am too. I'm just being nitpicky as well. Hezraz, it's pretty dumb of the people that run these studios that want to do particular things and then they wonder why they don't succeed. They have money. It is a bit. Use it. You have a cash cow. Fleetpaw, I just got a fucking ad in the middle of the live. That's never happened before. What the fuck was that? That's because YouTube's a bunch of greedy whores that are now pimping out ads everywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more of that shit. So anybody that wasn't here at the beginning though, I gotta show you a little Keishon puppet that my mother-in-law whipped up. It actually is a puppet. Like you can put your fingers in there and Keishon. Rikiki when he joined the 7. Rikiki, whatever. I don't know. But he also comes with his little I am not a doll, do not play with me sign. And it's even got the same type, like the letterhead. So she might be selling these at some point on her Geeky Sheep. If you want to check out more of her stuff, there's go on to Facebook. It's Geeky Sheep Canada. But she might be selling those at some point. So if anybody wants a Keishon doll. I think they'll also find that the USS Protostar and Prodigy was an experimental Federation starship sent to the Delta Quadrant to save the Voyager crew. I totally agree with that. I think that's a true statement. Shadowrunners might be a thing when the world was controlled by megacorps. Did you pay for YouTube Premium? Maybe it ran out. I have not paid for YouTube Premium, and I don't think Fleetpaw would either. Would love a Star Trek Red Dwarf crossover. Something about Rimmer being a new hologram aboard a Federation ship. It just needs to happen. It's past time. Producers realize most of us are not stupid. You can't stop YouTube's rectal insertion of their ads. Wow. That is amazing. Your mom is really talented. Not my mom, it's Sylvia's mom, my mother-in-law. Hezra says, I hate ads so much, I paid to have them not and still get videos ads. Fleetpaw, want your own Keishon puppet? Check out Geeky Sheep Canada on Facebook and get one. Keishon, when he became a puppet. Yeah, Olivia, you can probably hear the pug. She's licking her paw. Oh, as soon as I say that, she stops. So with Shaq being back, does that mean Keishon is not going to be on lower decks anymore? I don't know. He was on the bridge in this one. We didn't see Shax on the bridge at all, but we saw Keishon on the bridge in the security officer's role, so who knows? Keishon will transfer to the Titan. Jonathan says, sorry I'm late. I was quite like this week's episode. It felt fairly well paced and not too rushed. Well, good to hear, Jonathan. I did not enjoy it. I thought it was I didn't mean that. I did enjoy it. It's a good episode. It's just not a good episode of Lower Decks. There have been a lot better episodes. It's still a good episode of Lower Decks, but it's more middle of the road for me than it is on the high end of the spectrum. So, Better Than Life. The VR episode was so ahead of its time. 3 million years later, says Matthew Cole. I don't know what that's about. Data and Crichton conversation has to happen too. Richie Appel, YouTube almost broke me and made me go to premium, but I've held out strong. Me too. I keep refusing to do the premium thing. That being said, if you do get premium, every month that you pay for premium, channels like us that you watch, the more you watch a specific channel, the more your YouTube premium money, in theory, goes to that creator. So it is a good way to support us if you do the premium and you watch a lot of our content. If you watch all the lives, if you're here every week or every day for every live, People like Ozzy, you know, that are always here for the live stuff. If they pay for premium, a larger percentage of their monthly payment for the service will go towards our channel specifically. It's not just blanketed over the whole site. It's what you watch that gets the support from your premium membership. So it is what it is. If you want to skip YouTube ads, open up a second tab with YouTube in the back and let it play, then pause it. Then just get to the first tab to watch the stream. YouTube won't serve ads on both tabs. Dun dun dun. Okay, is it possible that Shax is a figment of his imagination and we're seeing him from Rutherford's point of view and not being an untrustworthy narrator? No, because everybody else was talking about him without. So no, I would say no. I wonder if we will see the Enterprise E in the season 2. You won't. No, I don't think so. Area 51, I have YouTube Premium and I watch this channel all the time. Well, thank you, Area 51. Appreciate it. Feed me Seymour. Actually, Red Dwarf could fit into the canon. Think about it. The Red Dwarf was a mining ship transporting resources between Ganymede and Titan. And in Trek, Titan is a mining colony. Dun, dun, dun. In the early 1900s, they had to put the law into effect because billboards and other ads became so excessive, they banned it in certain places. It looks like those laws no longer apply. Olivia says, I have premium, you're welcome. Thank you, Olivia. Although you haven't been around to watch much lately, so if you don't watch the channel, whatever else you're watching gets all your... So... Broken Speaker, $2. Money. Hi, everybody. Hi, Broken Speaker. Thank you for the money. You have 104 likes. Can we get 6 more likes to get to 110? I am really running out of steam. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I've been very this live, so probably going to call it soon. I'm not going to go the 2 hours, but Noodle Channel, last week's shower scene shocked me. I didn't expect them to do that. I didn't expect them to do it either, and I really hated the censor bars. Someone needs to remaster that scene without the censor bars, and I would be happy. I know it's the sonic shower doing its sonic thing that does whatever, but I would like to see that uncensored, just because I'm a pervert. It's fine. Red Dwarf theory. The simulants are the origin of the Borg. I joke. Fleet Paw throws in $2. More money, snipe. I guess Fleet Paw's wanting that last super chat slot. Broken Speaker says, never seen Red Dwarf. Well, you know what they say, Broken Speaker. If you don't know what a schmeghead is, you likely are one. So I would suggest watching it. It's pretty entertaining. It's funny. If you like British humor, it's good. When are they making Starfleet? I don't fucking know. Matthew Coach, but where would all the calculators go in Star Trek? I don't know what you mean. Olivia, Trekyards is my main watch. I just watch pre-recorded lives. Oh, okay. That's cool. I don't know why I keep setting this down. We know that space bees are dangerous. They killed the previous Futurama crew. They did? You're absolutely right. Oh my god. That's awful. Captain Foley's first reaction to Star Trek Lower Decks, we'll always have Paris, is meh. Haha, good night. I'm off to lunch. That's exactly what it is. Meh. Enjoy, man. Thank you for coming. Basil, whatever the fuck his name is not the best homes. Basil Rathbone. And you're right, Fleet Paw. Peter Locaco, $5. Cole Meany plays a good enemy in Under Siege. Great ship takeover movie with Steven Seagal. Yeah. Him and Tommy Lee Jones take over the ship. He expands on Twitter. The actress who plays Jensen, whatever, said she was up for being in more Trek. Feed Me Seymour is fired from this channel. I'm just gonna ban you right now, Feed Me Seymour. You're gonna get hidden so that you can't comment this bullshit no more. Basil Rathbones is not the best Holmes. At least you're not saying Robert Downey Jr. because then I'd have to like find out where you live, kind of thing. But oh my God, I'm so worn out. Was up till like 5 a.m. last night, and then yesterday, this morning, I don't fucking know. And then went to bed, couldn't get to very much sleep, and then got up around 10 and tried to have a nap this afternoon, maybe slept for half an hour. So I'm just tired. So I'm sorry that I'm kind of low energy. Plus this episode is just nothing special, nothing to write home about. So BJ Turan, I grew up Basil Rathbone, Sherlock Holmes. He's great in the film We're No Angels. I mean, Basil Rathbone, I love Basil. Oh, here we go with this fucking Sherlock Holmes talk again. I need to do a Sherlock Holmes live. Basil Rathbone is great in the old radio dramas with Nigel Bruce. I think he does a fantastic job as Holmes in those. But when you get to the movies and the later career of Basil Rathbone, where he got sick of Sherlock Holmes, and he was on record saying, "The only mystery I couldn't solve is the same one Conan Doyle had, how to be rid of the man." Like, go fuck yourself. He's the character that made you famous. It's like, it's the same issue I have with Harrison Ford being disrespectful to Star Wars fans. Like, stop. You know? Just stop being an asshole. So, but when Basil Rathbone, the Sherlock Holmes movies came about, like, they're battling Nazis and destroying secret weapons of World War II. It's like, fuck off. No, it's not Sherlock Holmes anymore. This is just like James Bond. So Rathbone's a good Holmes. He's definitely in the top 5 of Sherlock Holmes, especially for common knowledge of people knowing who the actors who played Holmes. But he is not at all the best Holmes. The best Holmes, hands down, 1000%, is what the fuck is his name? Oh my God, I can't remember it. See, that's how tired I am. I can't remember it. Jeremy Brett. Jeremy Brett is the best, is the definitive Sherlock Holmes. So don't Basil Rathbone me, man. Basil Rathbone might be number 2 or 3 as far as the top Holmeses of all time, but he is not number 1. As far as common knowledge Holmeses go, maybe he would rank number 1, as people might recognize him more than Jeremy Brett, obviously, but Jeremy Brett is the definitive Holmes. So this just went weird. Benedict Cumberbatch is a great Sherlock. He is, as long as I prefer him being Victorian era. I mean, in one episode he was, and that was great. Your place is always a great place to talk. Needs stuff too. Thanks, Captain. Hope you are well tonight. Thank you, Matthew. I am just tired. Phoebe Seymour, if you could revive Sherlock Holmes, who would you have play the character now? Honestly, I really like Johnny Lee Miller's interpretation of him in Elementary. I think he's a fantastic Holmes, hands down. But I would probably have Cole Meany play him. Cole Meany, who's been in multiple things, is actually an acquaintance of mine. My kids went to school with his kids in Stratford, so a lot of times I'd be standing outside waiting for my kids to get off school, and I'd be talking to Colin Feore. He's in like one of the Thor movies as one of the Dark Elves. He's been in everything. He was in Face Off. He played the doctor that swapped their faces. He was in Pearl Harbor. He played one of the admirals. He's always had kind of bit parts, but he's got that Sherlock Holmes look. He's got that Sherlock Holmes profile, that nose. He looks like Holmes, and I'm sure he could pull off a great Holmes. So, realize where your bread is buttered, as my man used to exactly. Hezraz, it is stupid when someone gets so cocky that they diss the character that made them huge. It's not stupid, it's just fucking reprehensible, in my opinion. Sir Ian McKellen was the best Sherlock Holmes. No, no, he wasn't. No, that movie was not great. That movie was no. Don't. Oh, feed me Seymour. We need to talk. All Holmes were misrepresented because they were cast by upper class snobs. The best Holmes ever was Data, sir. Nope. What? When did Ian play Holmes? He played Holmes in a movie a few years ago of Sherlock Holmes retired. As a retired Sherlock Holmes, keeping bees, being a beekeeper, having some issues with his mind and his memory and mental illness. And this little kid, it's a weird movie. I've only watched it once and I didn't really enjoy it. It's called Mr. Holmes. And I need to do Sherlock Holmes movie reviews, I think, on the Captain Foley personal channel. Will Ferrell's a great show. Fuck off. I haven't even seen that movie yet. That goes. I love Sherlock Holmes movies. Without a Clue is an amazing movie. Michael Caine, Ben Kingsley. It's a fucking great parody. It's a great Sherlock Holmes movie. I love Without a Clue. I will not see Holmes and Watson. I still have not seen it. Every time I see the DVD, it's like $15. There's no way I'm paying $15 for that fucking thing. The Umbrella Academy guy as Sherlock, I could see that. Matthew Ian played an older Holmes in the 1940s doing One Last Case. Yeah, this is a movie a few years ago called Mr. Holmes. David Tennant, next Sherlock, come at me. Nah, don't like David Tennant. Cole Meany is good in just about anything he does. Sorry, not Cole Meany, Combe Fiore. Did I say Cole Meany? No, I mean Combe Fiore. Combe Fiore, he's a Shakespearean actor in Stratford, but he also does movie roles. Like I said, he was the Doctor in Face Off. He was one of the head dark elf in the second Thor movie. He's been in a lot of shit. A movie called Bone Cop, Good Cop, Bone Cop, Bad Cop, Bone Cop. I can't remember. But Combe Fiore. I hope I didn't say Cole Meany because I did not mean Cole Meany. I didn't mean Cole Meany. I'm meaning Combe Fiore. Combe Fiore. Good God. Feed me Seymour. Have you watched Umbrella Academy? No. Bit of advice, don't watch Will Ferrell Sherlock Holmes. It's that bad. I've heard that multiple times. I have one person that keeps telling me it's really good. It's really good. You should watch it. I'm sure I'll watch it at some point. And I love Will Ferrell in a lot of movies. Ricky Bobby, Ballad of Ricky Bobby, fucking Blades of Glory, shit like that. I love that kind of shit. But I've just, nah. Without a Clue was a fun film. Any middle-aged British actor cast as Sherlock Holmes. Well, we're going to call it there. We'll have a Sherlock Holmes discussion at another time. But, yeah, I need to go downstairs and probably go to bed soon because I'm tired. I'm old and I'm tired. Let's see what's going on here. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. In conclusion, this episode was middle of the road, lower decks for me, not great. The best elements for me were Shax's returning, and seeing Tendi and Mariner as Orions. Oh, this is sexy, but too short. So the Tom Paris stuff, Robert Duncan McNeil was severely underused. That's all there is to say about this episode. There's not much there to talk about. So, anyway, guys, that's it. So, thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Another 2 likes would be awesome to make it 115. But I'm sure people will be watching this after the fact as well. So, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone that super chatted. Thank you to everyone that was just here. Thank you to everyone that turned it into a Sherlock Holmes conversation for some reason. Anyway, live long and prosper, guys. Illuminati. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like this episode. I thought it was okay. Anyway, Illuminati, live long and prosper. We'll see you guys later. It's Captain Foley signing off. Bye, guys.